Ever feel like you are fighting against invisible forces? Like no matter how hard you try, something keeps pulling you back down. Like the people around you say they want you to succeed, but something in their eyes tells a different story. So what do you do when the whole world seems designed to keep you exactly where you are? I am about to reveal something that is going to make you see everyone around you differently. The obstacles you've been facing aren't just bad luck. Many of them were placed there deliberately, by people who smile to your face while quietly hoping you fail, by systems designed to keep you in your place, by a world that profits from your stagnation, your coworker who always has advice that somehow leads you astray, your friend who changes the subject whenever you share good news, your family member who reminds you of every past failure when you mention new dreams, the mentor whose guidance keeps you dependent instead of independent. You know what they all have in common? They need you to stay smaller than them. But here is what is going to change everything. 500 years ago, Machiavelli mapped out exactly how to navigate a world full of hidden enemies. He understood that success isn't just about working hard. It is about understanding the game being played around you and refusing to lose it. What if I told you that the opposition you are facing is actually a sign you are on the right path? That the people trying to keep you down have accidentally revealed themselves as threats to eliminate or obstacles to overcome? That their resistance is the universe's way of showing you exactly what you are capable of becoming? By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why people want you to fail and how to identify them, the strategies for succeeding despite active opposition, and most importantly, how to turn their resistance into rocket fuel for your rise. Are you ready to stop being surprised by sabotage and start being prepared for it? Drop this affirmation in the comments: I succeed despite them. Number 1. Why people secretly want you to fail. Let's start by destroying a comfortable illusion. The people in your life are not all rooting for you. Some of them need you to fail. Not because they're evil, but because your success threatens something they're trying to protect. Here is how it works. Every relationship has an unspoken balance of power. When that balance shifts because one person starts rising, everyone feels it. The friend who was always slightly ahead of you suddenly isn't. The sibling who was the successful one now has competition. The colleague who felt secure in their position sees you coming up behind them. For psychologically healthy people, this creates inspiration. They're genuinely happy for you and motivated by your example. But for most people, this creates threat. Your success becomes a mirror reflecting their stagnation. Your rise becomes evidence of their standstill. Your wins become their losses, even when they objectively aren't. Machiavelli observed, men are so simple and yield so readily to the desires of the moment that he who will trick will always find another who will suffer to be tricked. The trick here is the performance of support. They tell you they're happy for you. They say they want you to succeed. But their actions, their energy, their subtle choices all point in the opposite direction. Here is how to identify who secretly wants you to fail. Watch for the pattern of convenient discouragement. The friend who always finds flaws in your plans but never helps improve them. The family member who brings up risks but never resources. The colleague who shares opportunities that are actually traps. The mentor who keeps you dependent on their guidance instead of building your independence. Watch for the energy behind the words. Someone can say congratulations while radiating disappointment. Someone can ask about your progress while hoping to hear about setbacks. Someone can offer help while creating dependency. The words are cheap. The energy tells the truth. Most importantly, watch for who benefits if you fail. This isn't paranoid thinking. It is strategic thinking. If your success would threaten someone's position, status, or self-image, they have motive. Motive doesn't mean they'll act on it, but it means you should watch carefully. The person with the most to lose from your rise is the person most likely to work against it. There is another category you need to watch. The people who have built their identity around helping you stay where you are. the friend whose purpose is being your shoulder to cry on. They need you to keep having problems. The mentor whose value comes from your dependence. They need you to keep needing guidance. The family member who plays the successful one. They need you to keep playing the struggling one. These people aren't necessarily malicious. They've just built their role around your position. When you try to change position, you threaten their role. They'll resist not because they hate you, but because they've invested in a version of reality that requires you to stay stuck. Their helping hand becomes a holding hand the moment you try to rise. This isn't about becoming paranoid. It is about becoming strategic. Not everyone is against you, but not everyone is for you either. And knowing the difference is essential for navigating to success. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I see who they really are. Number 2. The silent sabotage you are not seeing. Now let's talk about how the opposition actually operates. Because people who want you to fail rarely announce it. They work in shadows. They use plausible deniability. They sabotage in ways that could always be explained as something else. The first form of silent sabotage is information manipulation. They give you incomplete information that leads to bad decisions. They forget to mention the deadline that matters. They share the opportunity after it is too late. They tell you about the meeting but not about the pre-meeting where real decisions were made. Plausible deniability. I forgot. I didn't know you'd want to know. I assume someone told you. The second form is false encouragement in the wrong direction. They enthusiastically support your worst ideas while staying silent on your best ones. They push you toward paths they know won't work. They validate your doubts and question your confidence. Go for that risky thing that will probably blow up. Are you sure you are ready for that thing that could actually succeed? The third form is reputation undermining. They mention your failures in contexts where they'll stick. They share your struggles with people who will judge you for them. They praise you with faint dams. He has really improved lately. She is doing her best. They plant seeds of doubt about you in rooms you are not in. Machiavelli understood this deeply. He wrote, "It is not titles that honor men, but men that honor titles." Your reputation is your title in the social world. And some people are working to dishonor that title while smiling to your face. The fourth form is resource drainage. They create crises that demand your attention. They manufacture problems that consume your time. They need your help with emergencies that always seem to arise when you are about to make progress. They don't stop you directly. They exhaust you indirectly. The fifth form is the most insidious emotional sabotage. They trigger your insecurities right before important moments. They remind you of past failures when you need confidence. They create drama that destabilizes your focus. They know your weak points and apply pressure at strategic times. Here is how to defend against silent sabotage. Document everything. When someone gives you information, confirm it independently. When someone encourages a path, get second opinions from people with no stake in your failure. When someone creates a crisis, ask whether this crisis serves anyone's interests. Become hard to sabotage by becoming difficult to deceive. The goal isn't to become suspicious of everyone. It is to become aware that not everyone's input deserves equal trust. Weight the advice based on who benefits from you taking it. Trust patterns over promises. Believe energy over words. Here is a powerful technique for detecting sabotage. Run small tests. Share slightly different versions of information with different people and see what comes back to you. Tell person A you are considering one thing and person B you are considering another. Then watch how each piece of information travels and transforms. This reveals who is spreading what and with what spin. Also pay attention to timing. Saboteurs often have impeccably bad timing. They need to talk right before your big presentation. They drop destabilizing news right when you need focus. They create emergencies that conveniently align with your important moments. Once is coincidence, twice is pattern, 3 times is strategy. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I see through the sabotage. Number 3. the inner saboteur you've been feeding. Here is where it gets uncomfortable, because the people around you aren't the only ones working against your success. There is an enemy inside your own mind, and you've been feeding it your whole life. The inner saboteur is the voice that tells you not to try, because you might fail. The voice that reminds you of every past disappointment when you consider a new attempt. The voice that interprets neutral events as signs you should give up. The voice that sounds like it is protecting you while actually imprisoning you. Here is where this voice came from. Every time you were criticized, shamed, or discouraged, a piece of that experience got internalized. You started doing to yourself what was done to you. You started criticizing yourself before others could, shaming yourself before exposure, discouraging yourself before attempting. The inner saboteur is your defense mechanism turned against you. And here is the brutal part. Your inner saboteur has been trained by the same people who want you to fail externally. Their voices are now in your head. You don't even need them to discourage you anymore. You do it to yourself. You've internalized your opposition so thoroughly that you carry them with you everywhere. Machiavelli wrote, "There is no other way of guarding oneself against flattery than by letting men understand that they will not offend you by speaking the truth." The same applies to your inner voice. You must be willing to hear its truth without being controlled by its fears. The inner saboteur speaks some truth. Yes, you might fail. Yes, it might hurt, but it weaponizes that truth into paralysis. Here is how to defeat the inner saboteur. First, externalize it. Give it a name. Recognize when it is speaking versus when your genuine wisdom is speaking. The saboteur sounds like fear disguised as logic. Genuine wisdom sounds like caution that still leaves room for action. Second, trace its origin. When you hear the sabotaging voice, ask whose voice that really is. Your critical parent, your dismissive teacher, your jealous friend. Recognizing the external origin weakens its internal authority. That is not my voice. That is their voice that I accidentally adopted. Third, create a counter voice. Not toxic positivity that denies reality, but grounded encouragement that acknowledges difficulty while affirming capability. Yes, this is hard, and I am capable of hard things. Yes, I might fail, and I am resilient enough to recover. This counter voice must be cultivated through deliberate practice until it is as automatic as the saboteur. The external saboteurs are dangerous, but you can distance yourself from them. The internal saboteur goes everywhere you go. Defeating it is the most important battle you'll ever fight. Here is an advanced technique. Instead of fighting the inner saboteur, negotiate with it, acknowledge its concern, and then override its conclusion. You are right that this is risky, and I am doing it anyway because the risk of not trying is worse. You are right that I might fail, and I am capable of handling failure if it comes. The saboteur loses power when its concerns are heard, but its commands are rejected. Fourth, gather evidence against the saboteur's claims. Your inner voice says, "You can't do something." Make a list of things it said you couldn't do that. You then did. Your inner voice says you are not good enough. Make a list of achievements that prove otherwise. Build a file of evidence that disproves the saboteur's narrative. Reference it when the voice gets loud. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I silence my inner saboteur. Number 4. The strategic response to opposition. Now let's build your battle plan. Because succeeding when everyone wants you to fail isn't about hoping things change. It is about changing your strategy to account for the reality of opposition. First strategy: radical information control. Stop sharing your plans with anyone who hasn't proven their loyalty through action. Your dreams are precious. Stop giving ammunition to people who might use it against you. Keep your moves quiet until they're complete. Announce victories, not intentions. Machiavelli advised, never attempt to win by force what can be won by deception. The deception here isn't lying. It is strategic ambiguity. Let people assume you are doing one thing while you are actually doing another. Let them prepare to block a move you were never going to make while you advance elsewhere. Second strategy, build a secret alliance. You don't need many true supporters. You need a few completely reliable ones. Find 2 or 3 people who genuinely want you to succeed because your success doesn't threaten them or actually helps them. These become your inner circle, your war council. Everyone else gets surface, level access only. Third strategy, make yourself undeniable. The best response to people who want you to fail is succeeding so completely that their opposition becomes irrelevant. Don't argue with doubters, outperform them. Don't convince critics, overwhelm them with results. Make your success so obvious that denying it becomes absurd. Fourth strategy, use opposition as fuel. Every time someone doubts you, let it add fire to your determination. Every time someone blocks you, let it sharpen your strategy. Every time someone wants you to fail, let it clarify why you must succeed. Their energy intended to stop you becomes energy that propels you. Fifth strategy, remove or neutralize the opposition. Some people in your life are actively working against you. You have 3 options. Remove them entirely, neutralize their ability to harm you, or convert them into allies. Removal is cleanest. Neutralization requires maintaining enough distance and information control that they can't affect you. Conversion is rare but powerful when possible. Sixth strategy, create dependencies that protect you. Make yourself valuable to people in positions of power. When powerful people need you, those who want you to fail have to work against those protectors. This doesn't mean being manipulative. It means being genuinely useful to people who can shield you from those who wish you harm. These strategies aren't paranoid. They're practical. In a world where opposition exists, pretending it doesn't is the paranoid position. Seeing reality clearly and responding strategically is sanity. Seventh strategy, create visible consequences for opposition. When sabotage is exposed, make sure there are visible costs. Not through revenge, which is emotionally satisfying but strategically wasteful, through natural consequences like removing access, ending the relationship, or simply succeeding so thoroughly that the saboteur's judgment is publicly discredited. Others watch how you respond to sabotage. Your response teaches them whether opposing you is worth the cost. Eighth strategy, control your own narrative. Don't let saboteurs define you. Be proactive about sharing your story, your wins, your progress. Make your reputation difficult to attack by building it actively, rather than hoping others describe you accurately. In the absence of your narrative, their narrative fills the void. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I strategize for opposition. Number 5. The psychology of succeeding under fire. Strategy is essential, but psychology is foundational. Because if you crack under the pressure of opposition, no strategy can save you. Here is how to build the mental fortress that lets you succeed when everyone wants you to fail. First, detach your identity from others' opinions. The opposition can only hurt you if you've given them that power. If your sense of worth depends on their approval, they control you. If your sense of worth comes from within, their opposition becomes irrelevant noise. This detachment isn't natural. It must be cultivated through daily practice. Machiavelli wrote, "Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience what you really are. Let them see whatever they want. Let them think whatever they think. What matters is what you know about yourself. What matters is what you are actually building. Their perception is their concern. Your progress is yours." Second, reframe opposition as qualification. Think about any significant achievement in history. It faced opposition. Every meaningful change was resisted. Every valuable creation was criticized. Opposition isn't evidence you are wrong. It is evidence you are doing something significant enough to threaten the status quo. Third, develop tolerance for discomfort. Succeeding when people want you to fail is uncomfortable. There will be loneliness. There will be doubt. There will be moments when quitting seems reasonable. Your ability to sit with this discomfort without surrendering to it determines your ceiling. Train your tolerance like you'd train a muscle. Fourth, maintain long-term vision. Your opposers are focused on stopping you now. They're not thinking about where you'll be in 5 years. Your advantage is your timeline. You can lose today's battle and still win the war. They need constant victories. You just need to keep advancing. Think in years while they think in moments. Fifth, protect your energy ruthlessly. Opposition drains you faster than effort does. Every conflict, every defense, every emotional response costs energy you could spend on building. This is why strategic disengagement is so important. Don't fight every battle, only fight the ones that matter. Conserve your fuel for the climb. Sixth, find meaning in the opposition. If no one wanted you to fail, you'd have nothing to prove. If no one tried to stop you, the victory would be hollow. The opposition gives your success meaning. They're the resistance that makes your strength possible. In a twisted way, you need them. They make you undeniable. The psychology of succeeding under fire is about becoming the kind of person opposition cannot break. Not hard and brittle, but strong and flexible. Not angry and reactive, but calm and strategic. Not desperate and frantic, but patient and persistent. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I am unbreakable under fire. Number 6. The victory they never saw coming. Let me paint you a picture of what happens when you implement everything we've discussed. When you see the opposition clearly, neutralize the sabotage, defeat the inner enemy, deploy the strategies, and build the psychology. What victory looks like when everyone wanted you to fail. First, the silent watchers reveal themselves. Some who secretly hoped you'd fail come forward to share your success. They were always supportive. They claim, they always believed in you. They say, you now see clearly who was real and who was strategic. The victory sorts everyone into their true positions. Second, the loudest critics become quiet. The people who worked against you either disappear or suddenly become neutral. They can't deny your success, so they stop talking about you at all. Their silence is its own confirmation. Their absence is its own admission. Third, new opportunities open from unexpected places. Success attracts opportunity. People who wouldn't give you the time of day when you were struggling now want to be associated with you. This feels good, but remember the lesson. These people are responding to your success, not you. Stay strategic. Fourth, you gain power over those who opposed you. Not to take revenge, which would be short-sighted, but to neutralize any future opposition. Your success has proven their judgment wrong. Your achievement has demonstrated their limitations. They now know you cannot be stopped. This knowledge changes how they treat you going forward. Machiavelli wrote, "The wise man does at once what the fool does finally." The fools will eventually acknowledge your success. The wise course is to succeed now, before more time is wasted on doubt. Fifth, and most importantly, you become proof of what is possible. Your success when everyone wanted you to fail becomes a beacon for others facing the same opposition. You become evidence that the saboteurs can be beaten, that the inner voice can be silenced, that strategic action can overcome hostile environments. Your victory is not just yours, it is everyone's who faces what you faced. This is the victory they never saw coming. Not just that you succeeded, but that you succeeded while they actively worked against you. That you rose while they pushed down, that you built while they destroyed, that you won while they bet everything on your loss. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I achieved the impossible victory. If you've made it this far, you are not like most people. Most people would rather pretend opposition doesn't exist than face it strategically. Most people would rather fail while believing everyone supported them than succeed while acknowledging the truth. But you are still here, which means you are ready. Machiavelli wrote, Where the willingness is great, the difficulties cannot be great. Your willingness to see the truth about opposition, to defeat both external and internal saboteurs, to deploy strategy while building psychology. This willingness is what makes success possible. The people who want you to fail are counting on your blindness. They're counting on your naivety. They're counting on you continuing to share your plans, trust the wrong people, and carry the inner saboteur without resistance. Today you stop cooperating with your own defeat. If this video showed you the opposition you've been too nice to see, smash that like button. If you know someone surrounded by people who want them to fail, share this with them. And if you want more content that reveals the strategic realities of success, subscribe and hit that notification bell. Starting today, you stop being surprised by sabotage. You start expecting it, detecting it, and defeating it. You stop feeding the inner saboteur and start building the counter voice. You stop sharing your dreams with anyone and start sharing only with proven allies. You stop hoping the opposition will soften and start planning for its intensity. They want you to fail. Let them want. While they're wanting, you'll be working. While they're hoping for your downfall, you'll be building your rise. While they're placing obstacles, you'll be finding paths around them. Their opposition will become the story of how you succeeded, despite everything designed to stop you. Now drop this final affirmation in the comments. I succeed when everyone wants me to fail. Because in a world full of secret saboteurs and hidden opposition, the person who sees clearly and strategizes accordingly holds all the power. Be that person, expect the opposition, and watch how everything changes when you finally stop being surprised by enemies and start defeating them.